Okay, let's have a look at completing the square. Let's do exercise 17.06. So this is exercise 17.06, and this is from Theta Mathematics, and we're going to have a shot at doing question 9. So here's question 9 over here, and it states 5x minus 8x plus 2. 5x squared minus 8x plus 2 is equal to 0. Let's just check that. Is that what they've got? That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's take a shot at doing this. We notice, of course, we've got an x squared with a value of a, which is greater than 1. We want to get rid of that, so it's e to the 1. So my first step will be, and I'll restate the problem first. So I've got 5x squared minus 8x plus 2. I like to restate the problem so we can see what I've changed when we look at the next line. So I'm going to divide everything by 5 on both sides. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, which is what we wanted. So we wanted with an x squared minus, and I've got an 8x on 5 plus 2/5 is equal to 0. So now we're going to go ahead and subtract the 2/5 from both sides. Subtract 2/5 from this side. So I've got 2/5 minus 2/5. There we go. Now let's go ahead and we're going to add the b value. We're going to take the b value, halve it, and add it to both sides. So that implies that I've got an x squared. I've got minus an 8x on 5. I'm going to add now the b value, which is minus 8 on 5. So minus 8 on 5. And we're going to double it. We're going to halve it. So we double the bottom. We double the denominator. So there we are. So now I'm going to square it. And that equals 0 minus 2 on 5. And I'm going to do the same on this side. In fact, I'm just going to write this answer straight in, actually. So it's going to be plus, it's going to be minus 8 on 10. Oops, you can't see that, sorry. And we're going to square it, which is, of course, is what this is over here. Okay, now knowing it's minus 8 on 10, or we could say minus 4/5 would be the same thing. So now we're ready to write the completed square bit on the left-hand side. So here we've got an x. We're going to have a minus 4/5. Now, the reason this is 4/5 is because this bit here is minus 4/5. Minus 8 on 10 is the same as saying minus 4/5. So I'm just going to write that there, square it, put an equals over here, and now we need to quickly reconcile this side, which is minus 2/5. Now I've got a plus, I've got my minus 4/5 here, and I'm just going to square that. So I've got minus 4/5, minus 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. So that works out very nicely. So that is this bit here, that because minus 8 on 10 is in fact minus 4/5. And if I square, see, that's what I've done, sorry. Minus 8, I'll put that over here in a little circle. Minus 8 is minus 4/5. Minus 4 squared is 16, and 5 squared is 25. So that's where this all comes from over here. Okay, so we can rewrite this now a little bit more neatly. So let's say that implies that I've got an x minus 4/5 all squared is equal to, now let's add these two things together here. So this really, if I multiply both of these by 5, and I'll write them the other way around, this is going to be 16/25, and I'm going to subtract, well, if I multiply this by 5, I'm going to get minus 10. If I multiply this by 5, I'm going to get 25. So I get 16/25 minus 10/25, which of course is 6/25. So I'll put in the equals 6/25. So I've got x minus 4/5 all squared is equal to 6/25. So my next act will be to find the square root of both sides. So here I go. Find the square root of this side. Find the square root of this side. I'm going to put a plus and a minus before I forget. Of course, the square root and the square cancel each other out. I've got x minus 4/5 is equal to, now I've got a very nice figure here really, because this is really the square root of 6 on the square root of 25. Well, the square root of 6, well, that is an irrational number. I can't do anything with that. But I can do something with the square root of 25, which would be just 5. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract, I'm going to add, that's my bad, add 4/5 to both sides, add 4/5. I'll put the 4/5 over here. Of course, this is plus or minus. All right, so now I've got my x is equal to, and I can actually write this all with under one vinculum because they're both fifths. So I've got 5 here, and I've got 4, and I've got plus or minus root 6. So there is my answer, and of course, they're going to want it in decimal form. So let's work out those. So I'm going to say either x is equal to, and I'll do all this on one go on the calculator. So I'm going to take 4 plus root 6 and divide by 5. I'll do that first. So here's my, let's see, make that easy to see. 4 plus root 6, there it is. And I'm going to divide by 5. And I get 1.2, I'm just going to call that 1.29. I'm going to do it, I'm going to round it so I've got 3 significant figures. 1.29, that works well. 1.29, I'll put 3SF. Or x equals, now I'm going to do 4 minus root 6 and divide by 5. Here we go. 4. I've got my 4. Please go back into focus. Focus, focus. I don't like it when it takes a while. Ah, look at that. Here we go. Here we go. So this is going to be 4. Focus will be good. Yes, thank you. That's just drives you mad. Okay, here, I'm just going to make it so it's a bit lighter and I can actually see what it's doing. Here we go. Get that light working. Here we go. So I'm going to 4, what am I doing? 4 minus root 6. Here we go. So 4 minus root 6. And I'm going to divide by 5. And I get 0.31. So that's as good as we can get. So I'll go 0.310, I'll call it. 0.310. The reason I'm doing that is that I'm going to call that also 3SF. And they are my 2 answers. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know.